Let's be honest, punctuation can sometimes feel like a test you didn't study for, right? But what if I told you it's not about a bunch of scary, rigid rules? What if it's really just a toolkit, a set of 14 simple, powerful tools designed to help you build clear, stylish, and really impactful sentences? Okay, let's open up this toolkit and see how these marks can totally change your writing game.
So here's how we've got our toolkit organized in 5 simple trays. First, we'll grab the essentials, the sentence enders. Then we'll move on to the tools that build bigger things, the connectors and separators. After that, we'll check out the ones that add some flair, our emphasizers and clarifiers. Then we'll zoom way in on the word level marks, and we'll finish up with a quick peek at the specialist's toolkit. Sound good? Let's jump in.
All right, first up, the sentence enders. These are the absolute basics, the foundational tools you need to properly finish a thought. I mean, look how simple and distinct these are. The period, that's your workhorse. It just ends a statement, plain and simple. The question mark, obviously, is for asking a direct question. And the exclamation mark, well, that's for bringing the energy. Here's a pro tip, though. Use that exclamation mark sparingly, especially in any kind of formal writing. Too many can look a little unprofessional. One is almost always enough to get the point across. Okay, section 2, connectors and separators. So we know how to end a sentence. Now let's look at the tools that help us build longer, more interesting ones and make them flow beautifully. First up is the comma, which is basically the Swiss Army knife of your toolkit. This thing does so much. You use it to create just a little pause, right? It separates items in a list, apples, oranges, and bananas, or it sets off an introductory thought like, by the way, I'm heading out. Its main job is just to keep things clear and guide the reader. Now meet the semicolon. You can think of this as a super comma. It's a really strong connector that links two complete sentences that are just so closely related, a period feels too final. A semicolon basically says, hey, these two ideas are separate, but they really belong together. And then there's the colon. I like to think of the colon as a drum roll. It points forward and tells the reader, get ready, here it comes. Whether it's setting up a list, a big explanation, or an important quote, the colon lets everyone know that what's coming next is the main event. Okay, this right here is a distinction that trips up so many people. Let's make it simple. The semicolon connects two equal, balanced ideas. See how I have a meeting and I can't stay late are both complete thoughts? They work together. The colon, on the other hand, introduces something. The first part sets up an expectation, and the second part delivers the goods. If you remember just one thing, remember this. Semicolon connects, colon presents. Let's move on to our third tray, emphasizers and clarifiers. These are the fun ones. These are the tools that let you add your voice, your tone, and all those juicy extra details. If you want a little drama, you need the dash. It creates this abrupt, sharp pause that really grabs your attention. It's way stronger than a comma. You use it to set off a surprising thought or an important summary, just like this. It's an amazing tool for adding a bit of personality and flair. Parentheses are kind of the opposite of the dash. They're for quiet asides, not dramatic interruptions. The info inside parentheses is helpful, sure, but it's not essential to the main point. Think of it like you're whispering a little side note to the reader. Like this. You could literally remove the part in parentheses, and the sentence would still work perfectly. Quotation marks are super straightforward. Their job is to build a little fence around words that aren't yours. Whether you're quoting what someone said out loud, pulling a line from a book, or naming an article, these marks are a clear signal to your reader. Hey, I didn't write this part. It's as simple as that. The ellipsis. Those 3 little dots. This tool has 2 very different personalities. In formal academic writing, its job is very precise. It shows where you've cut words out of a quote. But in more creative or informal writing, it's used for effect. It can create a pause, a moment of hesitation, or a thought that just trails off. All right, on to section 4, the word level marks. So far, we've been working on sentences. Now, we're zooming way in to look at the tools that operate on single words. The apostrophe. Oh man, this little mark causes so much confusion, but its job is actually really clear. It does 2 main things, and that's it. Job 1, it shows possession or ownership, like in Sarah's book. Job 2, it fills in for missing letters when you make a contraction, like turning it is into its. If you can just keep those 2 jobs separate in your head, you've mastered it. Next up is its buddy, the hyphen. The hyphen has exactly one job. It's a word joiner.
It glues words or parts of words together. You see it in compound descriptions like a well-known author or in numbers like 21. That's all it does. It works strictly at the word level.
And this brings us to another huge point of confusion: dash versus hyphen. People mix these up constantly, but their jobs are in completely different worlds. The dash is a sentence-level tool. It creates separation and rhythm. The hyphen is a word-level tool. It joins things together. The absolute easiest way to remember it is a dash is for rhythm, a hyphen is for construction. And now for our final tray, Section 5, the Specialist's Toolkit. Think of these as the tools way in the back of the toolbox that you'll probably only need for very specific technical jobs.
And here they are. Brackets are mostly for editors. You use them to add a clarification inside a quote. So if a quote says, "He went to the store," you might add "the manager" in brackets so people know who he is. And braces or curly brackets, you will almost never use these in regular writing. They belong to the worlds of math and computer programming, where they're used to group sets of things. So, after going through all 5 trays in our toolkit, what's the big takeaway? It's that punctuation is not a test. It's not about memorizing rules to avoid getting a bad grade. It's about having the right tool for the right job, giving you the power to write with precision, with clarity, and with your own unique style. These 14 marks, they're your instruments. You can use them to build simple, sturdy sentences or complex, soaring arguments. You can create drama, you can add your voice, you can make sure people know exactly what you mean in exactly the way you want to say it. So really, the only question left is, now that you have the complete toolkit, what are you going to build?
Those tiny marks? They're more powerful than you think. A well-placed period or dash can grab attention, change tone, and make your writing unforgettable. Want to put this into practice? Download the worksheet linked below and try the exercise. It's a great way to lock in what you've learned. If this lesson helped you, like, share, and subscribe to ClearPath English for more easy-to-follow tips, and hit the bell so you never miss a lesson. Comment your favorite punctuation mark. I'd love to know.